Making the subject of the formula. The question is, make the letter in the brackets the subject of the formula, and the first question is a is equals to half b times h. First of all, if I want to make b, which is in the bracket, the subject of the formula, it means b must be positive in the numerator and having a power 1. So what does it mean? I'm going to shift the rest of the values to the other side. So 2 is in the denominator here. If I'm going to shift it to the other side, that will become 2 multiplied by a. H multiplied by b means if I'm going to shift it to the other side, it will be in the denominator. So b is all alone positive, having power 1. So this is called making the subject of the formula. But in different situations, we are going to go for different solutions. If here he says k, how many values are there? 2l is there, which is in the denominator. If I'm going to shift it to the other side, it will be in the numerator. So I'm going to write 2lt is equals to kx here. Now you want to make k the subject of the formula. What does it mean? That k will be all alone on this side. I have to shift x square to the other side. So that would be 2lt over x square. Why? Because x square is multiplied by k on this side. If I'm going to shift it to the other side, that will be in the denominator. Now another question, f over m is equals to v minus u over t, and t is in the denominator. First of all, if I am having the letter which I want to make the subject of the formula in a denominator, my first priority is to shift it to the numerator. So here I can see f over m, I can see v minus u over t. These are the most simplified fractions on both sides. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift t to the other side and obviously m to this side to make the situation clear. So this is ft is equals to m times v minus u. Why? Because m was in the denominator, it is in the numerator, it will be multiplied by the bracket. Now if I want to make t the subject of the formula, what does it mean? F is an extra value over here. So I have to shift it to the other side. So t is equals to m over f times v minus u. Now a is equals to h over 2 a plus b. I'm going to make a the subject of the formula. So I'm going to shift all the values to the other side other than a. So 2 is in the denominator. I'm going to shift it to the other side. That will be 2 times a. H here multiplied by this will be in the denominator. So I'm having a plus b. Now if I want to make a the subject of the formula, it means b is extra. And what is the link between a and b? A plus b is there. It means if I'm going to shift b to the other side, that will be minus b. Do not forget to write it after this fraction. This h is the denominator of 2a, not the denominator of b. If you want to solve it further, you can take LCM. LCM will be h and that will become 2a minus bh. Simplified answer. If I am having a over 2c plus b over 4 is equals to 1, I want to make a the subject of the formula. First of all, see that a over 2c is a fraction. I have to shift b over 4 to the other side to make it all alone on this side. Only then this 2c denominator can be shifted to the other side. Second way is you're going to take LCM of these two fractions and then the denominator will be shifted to the other side and the rest of the values meanwhile. Both ways are right. Let's try the first one. A over 2c is equals to 1 minus b over 4. Now 2c is in the denominator, so you're going to shift it to the other side because you want to make a the subject of the formula. So 2c bracket start. Now don't forget that 1 minus b by 4 can be simplified because this is 1 over 1 and this is b over 4. Two fractions having a negative sign between the terms means you're going to take LCM. LCM will be 4. So 1 times 4 will give you 4 minus b. Now this 4 is actually the denominator and this is the numerator, can be cancelled out. 2 1s are and 2 2s are. So this will be a is equals to c over 2 4 minus b. This is how you do it. Now if I am having two fractions, on the left hand side, and I am having a here, which I want to make the subject of the formula. And there is another a in the equation that is over there. My first priority is have them on one side. So I'm going to shift b over a to this side or 1 over a to that side. It is entirely up to you. If I'm going to shift 1 over a to the other side, here it is positive, there it will be negative. Now I can take a LCM. So b minus 1 is there. Now I can see a all alone. I can see that it is single a, but it is in the denominator. And if I want to make it the subject of the formula, it must be in the numerator, having positive sign and power 1. So I have to shift it to the other side. I'll be having 1 times a, that is a, and I'm going to shift this b to the other side. Here it is in the denominator, there it will be in the numerator. You can write the answer this way, or you can give your answer b square minus b. Both ways it's right. If I'm having x is equals to 1 over y plus 1 plus 2 and y is in this denominator, first of all plus 2 is extra. I'm going to shift it to the other side, so that will be x minus 2 is equals to 1 over y plus 1. Now, I want to make y the subject of the formula, and it is the part of a factor, number 1. Number 2, it is in the denominator. So, what can I do? I can actually do one step, that I can shift y plus 1 to this side and x minus 2 to this side. That is absolutely right. Or I can take reciprocal on both sides. Let me show you how to take reciprocal on both sides. So first of all, both factors, both fractions are in the most simplified form. In this situation, you can do cross multiplication as well as you can take the reciprocal on both sides. If I'm going to take reciprocal on this side, that will become y plus 1 over 1. I'm going to ignore that. If I'm having x minus 2 over 1, reciprocal will be 1 over x minus 2. Now, if I want to make y the subject of the formula, plus 1 is extra. So, I am going to shift it to the other side. 1 over x minus 2 minus 1. Now, this is not the most simplified form. We have to take the LCM. So, what is the LCM? That is x minus 2. Let me write it down. X minus 2. Now, as the two denominators are same, this denominator is equals to the LCM thingy. So, we are going to leave 1 as it is. But this negative sign, again confusing, because it is going to change the signs of both values inside. You were having 1 and in the denominator it is 1. So you had to have x minus 2 over here. So you're going to multiply it by x minus 2. Now open the bracket. 1 minus, this will change the positive x to negative x, and negative 2 to positive 2. Now, plus 2 and plus 1 will give you plus 3. Plus 3 minus x over x minus 2 is the most simplified answer. You can see y all alone having a positive sign and power 1 on one side. This is called making the subject of the formula. If again I am having a on both sides, my first step is I have to have it on one side. So this is one way of doing it. Other way which I really like is if I am having a single denominator. If I am having a single denominator, I shift it to the other side and it will be multiplied to both. So it means AC plus AB will be there. In this, using this one thing, this one step, I'll be avoiding taking LCM and the rest of the steps. So now I'm having, this is CB. This is CB. I shifted C to this side, so A times C plus CB also over there. Now AC will be shifted to the other side, CB will be left here, AX minus AC. Now as you want to make A the subject of the formula, you're going to take A common from both and you're going to shift x minus c to the other side, which is a factor. There it was multiplied by a, here it is divided by cb. If you're going to use this method, you're going to do one extra step. You're going to take c LCM. So this will become ax minus ac. C will be shifted to the other side. So bc is equals to a is common. So ax minus c. So a will be all alone. So bc over x minus c is the same answer. You write cb or you write bc, it's one and the same thing. If I'm dealing with square roots or under roots, radical forms, I have to shift under root to the other side. If I'm shifting under root to the other side, it will become square. So I'm having 2a over 5c. If I want to make a the subject of the formula, first of all, I'm going to shift 5c to the other side. Here it is in the denominator. I'm going to shift it there. It will be in the numerator. So 5cx square over. Now 2 was multiplied by a and it was extra, so I'm going to shift it to the other side. So 5cx square over 2 is the final answer, where a is all alone, having positive sign and a power positive 1. If I'm having this situation, a, first of all, the single denominator, I'm going to shift it to the other side. So that would be kbn is equals to 0.5 ma square. Now if I want to make a the subject of the formula, I'm having a square on this side and I'm going to shift 0.5 m in the denominator. Now, as I've told you again and again that if I want to make a the subject of the formula, it must be positive in the numerator having power 1. Now here I am having power 2. To cancel it, I have to have power 1 by 2 with it. What does it mean? I'm going to take under root on both sides. So this will be cancelled out. So a is equals to under root kbn over 0.5 m, because this is the final answer and under root can be positive or negative, so you're going to write it with the answer. Now I'm having c, it is in this denominator, and I'm having a confusing fraction over here. So first of all, I'm going to take LCM to make the things clear. A, B will be LCM, so this will be B minus A is equals to 1 over C minus 2. Now, as I want to make C the subject of the formula, C is in the denominator and it is the part of the factor as well. I can do two things. Number one, I can do the cross multiplication, means I can shift this to the other side and this to this side, or I can take the reciprocal. What does it mean? If I'm going to take reciprocal, this will be written as C minus 2 over 1. I'm going to ignore 1 in the next step. And this will be AB over B minus A. So AB over B minus A is equals to C minus 2, means minus 2 is extra. I'm going to shift it to this side. AB over B minus A plus 2 is equals to C. Now I'm going to take B minus A as LCM. So that would be plus 2. And this is not confusing because I'm having a positive sign. So I'm going to multiply it directly. 2 times B minus A means 2B minus 2A. And as I can see that there isn't anything we don't have like terms in here, so nothing can be added or subtracted, so this is the final answer. If in this question I want to make S the subject of the formula, number one, S is at two different places. It is on the left hand side and it is on the right hand side as well. First of all, I have to have it on one side, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift this to this side. So 2ps square minus 3qs square is equals to 5p. Now s square is on one side, I'm going to take it common, so I'll be having s square 2p minus 3q, because I want to make s the subject of the formula, so I have to shift rest of the values to the other side. S square is equals to 5p over 2p minus 3q. Now, because s is the subject of the formula, it must be positive in the numerator having power 1. So what I'm having here, I'm having power 2. What does it mean? I'm going to take square root on both sides. So I'm going to cancel it. S is equals to, and do not forget that whenever it is the final answer, under root will be having positive negative sign with it. Let me see this question. This is the final question. If I'm having h, the subject of the formula, and it is, you can see it here, you can see it here, and you can see the whole under root thingy on top of it. So first of all, let me get rid of this 3n. Here it is in the denominator. If I'm going to shift it to the other side, that would be 3pn over q is equals to under root h plus 2k over 3h plus k. And in the previous videos we have discussed that if I'm having a factor in the numerator and a factor in the denominator, I cannot cancel a single value. What does it mean? H cannot be cancelled by h, or k cannot be cancelled by k. This is the whole point. Now under root is confusing, so I have to shift it to the other side, or I can take square on both sides. What will happen? Taking square on both sides means it will be cancelled here. Now you can open the bracket. It means square will be on each term. It means 3 square p square n square over q square. On the other side, I am having h plus 2k over 3h plus k. Now, as you can see that I am having h here, I am having h here, and I am having a most simplified fraction on left hand side and a most simplified fraction on the left hand side and on the right hand side. First of all, I want to get rid of these denominators. So what is the easiest way? You can shift this denominator to this side and this denominator to this side. This is called cross multiplication. So do not change anything else. 9p square n square was on left hand side. Please write it on left hand side. And 3h plus k you have shifted from right to left, so it must be written here. Now q square has gone to this side. Alright, because if you're going to write the whole thingy on this side and the whole thingy on this side, you can do a few mistakes later on where negative is involved. Alright, let me adjust it. Now I'm having h here and I'm having h here. My whole point is I'm going to open the brackets. This is how I'm going to have h on this side and h on the other side. Then I'm going to have h, both h on one side, and shift the rest of the values to the other side. Take h common and then go further. So let's do it. First of all, 9 times 3 will give me 27. P square n square h. This is how I'm going to multiply. Then this will be multiplied by this. What does it mean? Plus 9p square n square and obviously k is equals to. Now I'm going to multiply q square by each of the terms, and q square h plus 2k q square. Bracket open. Now what was the plan? I had to have this h, one over here, one over here. I have to have it on one side. So I'm going to shift this to this side. So 27 p square n square h minus q square h, and in the same time I'm going to shift the extra value, that is plus 9 p square n square k, to the other side. It will become minus 9 p square n square k. Now as planned, we have reached to a certain step where I can take h common. So h is common, means 27 p square n square minus q square is equals to 2q square k minus 9p square n square k. What does it mean? It can be written as h is equals to 2q square k minus 9p square n square k over 27 p square n square minus q square. Now, can you see it? Anything common? From here I can see that I can take k common, but I cannot cancel it with anything. Anything else you can take common? 27p square n square minus q square? No. If I'm going to take common from this, I can take it or I can leave it as it is. Both ways it's right. So this is the final answer.